Hi, I'm Beth Sheffield, a Canadian Paralympic dressage rider, and this is my Tokyo hopeful horse Hᴇᴜßᴜ, who's better known as Wonky horse. Now, in today's video, we are going to talk about improving the walk, and I'm going to show you some exercises that can make a huge difference. Some people believe that you have to buy the quality of the walk, that you can improve the trot, but the canter is also more of a God-given thing. Wonky wasn't blessed with the greatest walk in the world, but through systematic work we have made a huge difference, and she now scores 8s and 9s at international level with her walk. So let's get started with some work. So once we've managed to achieve a nice, easy, relaxed shoulder fore on each rein, I'm now going to ask her to go into a small travers position on the circle. Good girl. So I want her right hind to come underneath her body. I don't want her falling to the inside. I want her to step around my left leg. So she stays around my left leg, but off my right leg. So I'm asking her to be supple around my left leg. I still want her to stretch as much as she can. Good girl. And seek the bit forward and down. Just need a tiny response from my right leg. I don't want her to swing her right leg massively to the inside and for it to go way beyond her center of gravity. I want it to step under her body and become the driving leg as we go around the circle. And you can feel, good girl, little distraction. Come, good girl. Then if I feel she starts to come against my left leg again, ride her forward off my left leg. Ask her to go a little bit shoulder fore again. Come on, good girl. So we're going to go a little bit shoulder fore, looking for a little inside flexion. Her to staying out of the way of my inside leg. She's meeting my right hand really nicely. The left hind is under the middle of the body. And now I'm going to add my right leg and ask her to step around the circle in a slight travers. But I don't want her to throw herself around the circle in the travers. I want her to stay upright off my left leg. So I'm going to be asking her to then go forward off my left leg and round back into the shoulder fore again. Good girl. And then I'm going to be asking her to go back into the travers. Good girl. Now ask her to come round off my inside leg again. Forward, forward, into the shoulder fore. She's starting to stretch even nicer. Come, walk on. Good girl. And then I'm going to take her a little more travers again. Puts a little bit more torque in her body. Asks her to be a little bit more supple. Good girl. The back starts to feel even looser. Then I'm going to go a little bit shoulder fore. Come, there. I'm not asking her really to step out. I'm asking her to come around and be supple around my left leg. And then we'll go through the process the other way. On the left, we'll be going shoulder fore, and then a little bit into the travers, keeping her around my right leg so she's not pushing her ribs through my right leg, and bringing the shoulder around and taking her a little bit more into shoulder fore again. Good girl. Now you can see I've picked her up a little bit. She's got a little bit more energy, she's a little bit more up in the frame. It's really important that I'm able to take her between the more of a medium walk frame and more into a stretch walk frame. Let her seek the contact down a little bit. I don't want her to rush, I just want her to be supple and forward thinking. We're now in more of a stretch walk frame. I've asked almost a little travers, but not quite. It's like half a travers, it's like the shoulder fore equivalent of a travers. Now I'm going to bring the shoulder a little bit round. Ask her to step over a little bit. So she's now into the shoulder fore, she's in more of a stretch frame. Good girl. There's a good girl. And then I'm going to bring her up. Now when I shorten the frame, I would always prefer to be in a very slight lateral positioning of one or the other. It just helps to keep the back supple and keep the horse around my leg, so the horse can then walk through its body even though the neck is a little bit more controlled than it is in the stretch. I rarely ride on the bit walk in a straight line. You're asking the horse to have the ability to tense its back when you walk in a pure straight line on the bit in walk. There's more chance the rider can get in the way. Good girl. So I'm always asking for some form of positioning when I'm got the horse in a slightly higher frame in the walk. And I'm always thinking about pushing the nose away from me in that walk, so that I keep the horse working through its back, soften its back, lifting its back from my inside leg to my outside hand. Although the horse has got a slightly shorter neck, the horse is still stretching into the contact honestly. And then from this position, when you can have a really good, honest connection in the medium walk, with a lovely rhythm, lovely activity, she feels soft and accepting, I'd then start to think about riding renvers on the circle in walk. So I'm going to ask a little bit of shoulder fore. Good girl. So she's bringing her shoulders a little bit to the right. And then I'm going to change the bend, but keep the shoulders on the inside of the circle line. So I'm asking her, good girl, this takes a little bit more attention from the horse, a little bit more athleticism. I'm asking her to bend around my left leg while we walk around the right circle. So her right hind is having to, good girl, yeah. Let her take a little bit more of a stretch forward. She's finding it quite difficult, so let's just ask her to keep the positioning, but let her stretch. Give her that little bit of room to have a bit of relief. Good girl. She's stretching a little bit. Right, let's try again. So I'm going to shorten my rein. Ask for a little shoulder fore. We're going to go into renvers, so ask a little shoulder fore, shoulder in. Ask that little flexion to the right. Not too much neck bend. Want the feeling that the bend's coming through the trunk. Shoulders are on the inside of the circle line, quarters are on the outside of the circle line. Now I'm going to bring her so she's looking around the outside of the circle line, but her shoulders are on the inside circle, her butt is on the outside circle. She's bending around my left leg. I'm supporting her with my right leg to say, keep your butt over there. My left leg is saying, keep your shoulders there. I'm asking for a tiny bit of flexion on the inside, which is now my left hand. She's having to drive herself with her right hind around the circle. This is quite demanding, so I'm not going to ask too much. Good girl. Asking her to step into my right hand, off my left leg, while we go around the right circle, and then let her stretch. I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but her breathing is really deep and regular. Whoops, good girl. Her breathing is really deep and regular. She's really using her body as she walks. She's giving my body quite a workout as she walks, because she's got a really big swing through her hips. She is walking